Okay guys, we are back again for the next part in our cross stitch technique that we're doing in the vintage sewing journal. So as you can see, I finished doing those and I'll bring it up to the camera. One thing I will say in my time of doing it again, remember 6 down and 3 across. And like when I got to that one, I'm like, oh, it's not adding up. Don't get cocky and think, oh yeah, it's like that. Always count every time, like yeah, because it ends up like one step down and then you got to go one step up. So you can even stuff up when you know what you're doing. So I quite like how they're looking. Now I've threaded the DMC onto there, so I'm going to take whoop, get it off. There we go. Right, there we go. Didn't completely all come off. So and another sort of long strand, thinking I'll probably use it. Now I'm probably going to be using this colour as well, but mainly use, like you've got this, so you might as well use it, and you can probably use this throughout the next lot of stuff because it's a colour that will be used. I was also thinking of bringing in maybe a little bit of this green as well, so we'll see, because we've got to still stitch it on. So what I've done, put that there so you know where it is. I've just put this underneath and gone, okay, yep, that's about right where I need to put it, and then I've done it with a friction pen. That way if you do make a mistake, it will iron out. So all we're going to do with this part here, and once again we will go from the middle and we'll use 2 strands. It just seems to be, gives it a nice fine look. Okay. And so for the word cross stitch, we are going to be doing a back stitch. But when I put this on, like once we finish that, and then I want to put, I've got to put that onto there, I might do a cross stitch to put it on, maybe in the darker colour. So and I'll probably do the same for around here, but I was thinking of doing a alternative, like herringbone stitch, which is a form of a cross stitch. Where are we? Herringbone, here we go. Herringbone stitch, it's like a cross stitch, but you do small crosses on the top and bottom, but I'll show you. I was thinking of doing that across there and on the bottom, and then just maybe a running stitch. So we can take this piece off here, put it off to the side so you can see that, and I'll do a knot, just a small one, and I will zoom it in. There we go, up higher. Now to start on the top here, so that's why you want a fairly decent size. Move things out of the way so they don't get caught. And a back stitch, as you all probably know, you just go back and you go into the same hole. And so this is why you use a friction pen, because if you are worried about seeing any of the black, when you give this a bit of an iron, it'll come off. I tend to turn the fabric as I go, and every now and again make sure that you check. That's the only thing about using DMC, you can come apart. Give it a good pull, and sometimes I even where are we? Lick between the fingers and then go all the way up, just to make sure that it's sticking together a little bit. Okay. So this is a fairly quick thing. I mean, it's, as you can see, it's starting to fade, and I think often it will fade because your hand is warm, and it's a friction pen. So now with this, you can either go over the top or go underneath, which I might. That way, the scrolly bit on the front is the dominant stitch. Now, I won't have you watch me do the whole lot of this, but I'll give you the basic rundown. When I start here, because I don't finish it off, I just go straight into the other stitch there, and then we start, and we just go across and then go down. When you've got these, see, once again, every now and again you've got to pull it so that they're still together. Give me one to feel. Okay. And then go across. Okay. I get quiet when I do stitching. I thought this will be a nice and quick. Some of the other ones I'll probably have, I'm trying to get, you know, one video each week for this, but this one is a fairly quick one. The next one, it might be a little bit longer, like yeah, it all depends what technique you're using and how big the page is and what's involved. Okay, we're going here and start with, on the O, start there. Go across a little bit. Over, and then I go back this way. Okay, well, you've got the drift of what you need to do for this, so I'll turn it off. There you go, and I'll be back. I'll pause. Okay, just a quick little tip. I finished the word cross, and I finished off. Like, it's all right to cross over on the little bits, but I think when you go, that'll be a big strip and you might see that. So you just restart and start there. That way you can cross over to there, you know, work onto there, and then you start, you know, the crossover is not as big. So okay, well, I'll be back, and I'll when that's stitched on. I just thought I'd give you that. Not going to look terrible, but you might as well restart. Okay, back again. I've given everything a bit of an iron. I sort of cut the little draggy bits off, stitched that on, and I've ironed it so that you can't see any of the black. Now there is a right and wrong way of this, and I've got a bit that's got a bit of a you know, a hole in it, but that's okay because this was cut from an eider down. You can sort of see it's got little lines on there, like here where the joins and everything are. Now this is the wrong side, and it's quite bright, so if you want more of that brighter look, but this is the wrong side, and it's a bit more subtle and soft because the sun's being on it. And I think, I'm not sure which is up or down, so look, not really going to make that. Well, I might do it that way because you can see more of the pieces. I'm just going to stick it in the middle, try and guess whereabouts the middle is, round about. So get some pins and then just pin this down, because we are going to stitch it to this part. Okay. Now I could probably chuck one in the middle just to make sure it stays down and doesn't move on me. Now for this, I would like to, I could probably zoom in a tad more. There we go. For this part, I would like to do some cross stitch and other stitching in maybe this colour, just a little bit darker, and I want it on the pink. Look, make sure that it's in and that it's in camera. Okay. And for this, I'm just going to use my normal needle. This is a chenille 22. So got a fairly long piece, save me having to redo it again. Now, because it's going to be in a book, you know, not hanging it on the wall, we're not washing it, I'm just going to do a running stitch, which we will start down the bottom here, and then when I get to the top I'm going to do a herringbone and then running stitch and cross stitch. So just a variation on some stitches. Okay, start in the corner there and just do there we are, a little bit of a running stitch. Maybe about 5 stitches, and then we'll start off like where you would come in normally for the next stitch, and go across. And unlike the cross stitch that we learned how to do there, we actually make the cross as we go. So I'll leave a little bit of a gap between Okay, over, under, and I don't mind if they're a little bit, you know, different size, skew if, whatever. It all adds to the charm. Okay, I generally like to do an even amount, so we're going to start there again, and also I'll do 3, and then maybe do a few more stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll say 6 stitches this time, and then come up okay, and then I'm going to do, still in camera, yep, find it easier sometimes to go this way. I might do 5. This is how we're going to add a little bit of charm to our, most people just leave these bits and pieces, but it drives me nuts, so I cut it off, but it is slow stitch, so you can leave them. Hang on. 2, 3, 4, and then the last one, 5. I mean, you don't have to do a different colour, you can use that pink that you've got, it's up to you. And then we go back down and come up through there and finish with a running stitch all the way to the end. And then I want to do a herringbone stitch, but probably going to be done backwards. Probably should have started on the other side. Well, that's okay. Okay, go now. It looks cute, gives a bit of variation, and you got the cross stitches. Okay, now I've got the herringbone stitch, which we're doing. I might go out a tad. That's going to be on the top of there. I think it looks really cute. Okay, we'll just work the opposite way around. Okay, so it's got a, might go over the top, and so you go on a bit of an angle. There we go. That doesn't work because it's the wrong way round. Hang a minute. See, got to go opposite. Okay. Now we'll go that way, and then we're going to come up that way. There we go. So you got a little cross on the top, and then I'm going to go into these holes, and we're Didn't they go that way? See, that doesn't work either. It's confusing because it goes that way. I may have to finish it off and go like, so when you see, learn from what I do. When you start here and go all the way, and then go up on that side. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to finish it off. And start it. It is just too confusing. Okay, I'll just put a thing there and finish it off. But if you are smarter than me, learn from my mistakes. But I always say we make the mistakes so you don't have to. It makes you realise we're not perfect. Well, I'm not perfect. Yeah. Okay. It's one of those tricky stitches anyway. Once you get the hang of it, not so bad. I find this herringbone stitch, which is sort of a variation on cross stitch, easier to do when it's on a I'll start here. Is that too low? I might go a little higher. Okay, now start there. Hopefully we're in camera, and I'll zoom it in just so you can see it a little bit better. Leave it there. Okay, go across on the top like that. There we go. Then I might use these as a bit of a guideline. Go across like that, and then we go over, because remember that's going to go here, so it's going to go across, and then back down here. There we go. So it's a bit of a variation on the cross stitch and gives you something nice to look at. What I might do, because here's a line for the other one, not this. Ooh. Because on the thing it is so much easier when you have got a slight line. There we go. Now this will iron off. When you see it on here, it's got two lines. Ooh, ow. The iron is off, but it's cooled down, cooling down over here. Okay, now let's see, we're in there. Yep. Okay, now we're gonna go here. About there. Don't forget to grab all of it, like as in underneath. Okay, and once again, it doesn't really matter with see how that one's that little bit bigger. All good. It shows individuality. Okay. There we go. Probably too close. That's okay. Holding it together with a bit of a different stitch. One thing I've got to check to see it's not too far in and over if my other pieces are going to fit. Oh, just pretty much the right size. Actually, I might just finish it off over the top. There we go. Now, this part. Yes, there we go. Now, if you want to, just to give it a little bit more character, just going to give that a bit of a heat iron. Just to show you, it does come off. The main reason why I did do that here is because this piece had the holes. My iron isn't on, it's just still hot from when I used it before. So, okay. And as you can see, not perfect, but does the job. So, I'll just finish that off. Okay, I might do that twice. Don't want that coming out. There we go. Now, so I don't think I'm going to do the herringbone here. I'm just going to do the same as what I've done on the side there, because I just don't think there's enough room. Okay, we're going to go back out again. Yeah, I just don't think there will be enough room. Now we've still got to stitch this on, but I will stitch that on and go through all the layers. So we stay doing it the same and across here as well, and I might even use this darker to stitch the button on. So there you go. There's another stitch you can do, I find. You do it just a little straight stitch across, add a little bit of texture. I might do that with the green, we'll see. Okay, well that's it for this one. So if you just go 1 2 3 4 5, 3 crosses, 1 2 3 4 5, 5 crosses all the way to the end. If you don't want to do this herringbone stitch, that's fine, because you probably don't need to cover the little holes that are in there, and I just thought it's an alternative cross stitch. And then same, you know, do the 5 here, 3, and then I would probably go cross stitch, maybe 5 in the middle, not cross stitch, straight stitch, 5 crosses in the middle, and then across. So I'm still not 100% about that. I'll see how I go. I may end up taking it out and just doing this cross stitch all the way around, but we'll see how we go. Okay guys, well that's part 2 done. I'll see you in the next one, which I think I'll just show you how to do that and put the button on, and probably attach it into the actual book, so it won't be a real long one. So I'll see you in that one. So this is probably going to be a 3-parter rather than a 4-parter. I'm sure I'll have another video up from where, because it's every Tuesday I usually do these. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope you're enjoying and participating in this vintage sewing, because I'm really enjoying it. We're going to have an awesome book of techniques at the end of it. Thanks for watching. Bye.